for 2 days after the 4th of March, when his custody actually ended with the CBI, and they got 2 more days with the Deputy Chief Minister, former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. Now, Manish Sisodia's custody, the CBI is at least going to push for it, for a JC, a judicial custody, which means a good 14 days is what the CBI is keen at or is looking at and is going to be pressing for this. These are details of Sisodia's custody that CBI wants to ask for. CBI is wanting JC for Manish Sisodia, judicial custody. CBI is not going to be asking for extension of police custody, so which means it may not be a piecemeal 2 days or 3 days or 4 days if the CBI were to have its way. The CBI is going to make a case for JC or judicial custody of Manish Sisodia. Extended custody to an extent of this being translated to a JC or a judicial custody and not extended police custody. That's what the CBI wants. These are details that we're getting of the investigations in this alleged scam. This is the Delhi Excise scam as is being alleged. The CBI now is seeking JC or judicial custody for Manish Sisodia. Manish has more details. On that, Manish, the reasons why a JC is now being demanded, and if at all the CBI were to get it, it's going to be a good 14 days for Manish Sisodia then.
Yeah, well, Sneha, we have been given to understand is that today, when Manish Sisodia will be produced before the court, the Central Bureau of Investigation will be asking for judicial custody of Manish Sisodia, which means that he will be sent to judicial custody for 14 days, and it possibly means that Manish Sisodia will also spend his Holi inside the Bihar jail and not in the CBI custody or ED custody. Also, we have been given to understand is that once he is in judicial custody, the enforcement directorate may ask for a police custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia, which essentially means that after CBI custody is over, the enforcement directorate will step in, and on 9th of March, we have been given to understand is that the ED will be filing an application to get custody of Manish Sisodia. And why it becomes important? Because Manish Sisodia's bail application will be heard on 10th of March. If ED takes the custody, then bail application will be postponed. So possibly it means that Manish Sisodia, will be in the custody of ED or Tihar jail for a few more days at least. Also, in terms of investigation, we have been given to understand is that Manish Sisodia has so far been confronted with 4 material evidence in the case, which means that 4 accused suspects and witnesses in the case. Apart from that, he was questioned extensively about the missing files regarding the excise policy, the draft copy of excise policy, and certain other decisions which Manish Sisodia had taken at that point of time as excise minister.
All right, Manish, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us all of those details. We'll put up this reaction of Saurabh Bhardwaj now. Listen in.
ये एक तरीके से आखिरी मौका है और इसके बाद मुझे लगता है कि कोर्ट जो है कस्टोडियल इंटरोगेशन के लिए तैयार नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि सीबीआई कोई ठोस कारण नहीं बता पा रहा है कि उनको इंटरोगेशन क्यों चाहिए। मुझे लगता है कि आज जो है कस्टोडियल इंटरोगेशन ख़त्म होगी और मनीष जी को जुडिशियल कस्टडी के अंदर जो है भेजा जाएगा, ताकि 10 तारीख को जो उनकी बेल एप्लीकेशन है उसको जो है कोर्ट जो है 10 तारीख को डिसाइड करे।
All right, getting you more details. The Liquorgate case exploding. Former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Sisodia CBI custody ends today. He will be produced before the Rouse Avenue Court at 2. India Today has accessed the inside details of CBI's custody. CBI is asking the court to send Sisodia to JC or judicial custody. Won't ask for extension of police custody. As per the sources, the agency wants to utilize Sisodia's custody to locate the crucial missing file that contains legal opinions on the expert committee recommendations on the excise policy. It must be noted that if the extension is not granted, then Sisodia will be sent to Tihar. Bail application is going to be heard on the 10th of March. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party has claimed that Sisodia is being tortured by the CBI, saying that he is being pressurized to sign documents. BJP has planned to stage a protest against AAP as well today.
ना सिर्फ मनीष सिसोदिया जी के वकील ने, मनीष सिसोदिया जी ने खुद कोर्ट में कहा कि उनको मेंटली टॉर्चर किया जा रहा है। इस सीबीआई के पास मनीष सिसोदिया जी के खिलाफ 1 रुपए के भी भ्रष्टाचार का सबूत नहीं है, लेकिन अपने राजनीतिक आकाओं को खुश करने के लिए सीबीआई ने उन्हें अरेस्ट कर लिया। इसलिए वो मनीष सिसोदिया पे मानसिक दबाव बना रहे हैं, मानसिक प्रताड़ना कर रहे हैं कि वो एक फॉल्स कन्फेशन साइन करें और वो मान लें कि उन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार किया है।
ऐसे साधु हैं जो दिल्ली के हर स्कूल के बगल में एक दारू की दुकान खोलते थे, हर मंदिर और गुरुद्वारे और धार्मिक स्थलों के बाहर वह दारू की दुकान खोल रहे थे, एक के साथ एक बोतल फ्री की स्कीम ले आए थे। ऐसे साधु महात्मा हैं। ऐसे साधु महात्मा थे जिन्होंने दारू वालों की, ठेकेदारों की कमीशन 5% से बढ़ाकर 12% कर दी, जिन्होंने उम्र 21 साल से कम करके 18 साल 21 साल से कम करके 18 साल कर दी, जो उन्होंने दारू सुबह 3 तक बेचने की छूट दे दी या पिलाने की छूट दे दी। तो इस प्रकार के साधु महात्मा है। असल में क्या है कि सच ये है कि अब उनके पास जवाब बनता नहीं, इसलिए वो शिक्षा की बात करते हैं। और शिक्षा में भी जो सच है कि दिल्ली में 1054 स्कूल हैं, जिसमें से 800 से ज़्यादा स्कूलों में प्रिंसिपल नहीं है और 400 से ज़्यादा स्कूलों में वाइस प्रिंसिपल नहीं है।
All right, we're getting you the inside details of the grilling of former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. Sisodia confronted with top excise babus. Now, this is what really has happened. Sisodia confronted with his former secretary as well is what we are learning. Ex-aide Arvind's joint grilling with Sisodia. That too has happened. Excise Chief Krishna, Sisodia grilling. Also going to be confronted with 2 more key witnesses is what we are learning. List of other accused also getting prepared right now. More time is what the CBI then needs to do all of this. Some of the work that has been done vis-a-vis the investigations, more work that needs to be done. Hopefully, they say, if they get a JC or 14-day custody of Manish Sisodia. Amid quake in the Delhi government, Arvind Kejriwal has attacked both the Congress and the BJP. With only 6 months left for the upcoming assembly elections in Chhattisgarh, the political parties are training their guns. Slamming the government of Chhattisgarh, Arvind Kejriwal said that Congress promised to not entertain Adani, but Chief Minister Baghel is like Adani's cousin. Arvind Kejriwal has gone on to make further allegations on the Congress, saying that they were, in fact, that if Congress were elected back to power, then it will sell all the forest land in Chhattisgarh to Adani's. This after the Grand Old Party labels Sisodia's arrest an open and shut case, accusing AAP of being corrupt, put out posters of Sisodia and Sitendra in jail at several places in Delhi, calling Sisodia a saint. Arvind Kejriwal also took a dig at Prime Minister Modi, saying that families of 18 lakh students in Delhi schools will curse the Prime Minister for putting Sisodia behind bars.
भूपेश बघेल, टी.एस. सिंहदेव, राहुल गांधी तीनों आए थे यहाँ पे, जनता को यहाँ पे वचन देके गए थे हमारी सरकार बनी हम अडानी से वापस लेंगे कोयले की खदान। बोला था नहीं बोला था? जैसे ही इनकी सरकार बनी कांग्रेस की, इन्होंने पहले अडानी के पास एक फेज था, इन्होंने दूसरा फेज भी अडानी को दे दिया। ये आपका कब से बन गया? वो बोला भाई हमारा इनसे कोई रिश्ता नहीं है, हमारा रिश्ता है तो केवल जनता के साथ रिश्ता है। कर्नाटक में पहले कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, उसको 20% कमीशन वाली सरकार कहते थे, उनके टाइम में 20% कमीशन लगता था। डबल इंजन की सरकार का मतलब डबल भ्रष्टाचार, डबल कमीशन। अगर 40% कमीशन की सरकार चाहिए तो उनको वोट दे देना, 0% कमीशन की सरकार चाहिए तो आम आदमी पार्टी को वोट देना। शानदार बना दिया सरकारी स्कूल मनीष सिसोदिया, इसीलिए तो उसको गिरफ्तार किया। मनीष सिसोदिया चोर थोड़ी है, चोर तो नहीं है। अरे इतना संत महात्मा आदमी, उसको तुमने उठा के जेल में डाल दिया। मोदी जी शर्म करो थोड़ी सी। पाप लगेगा, हाय लगेगी। उन 18 लाख बच्चे दिल्ली में, 18 लाख गरीबों के बच्चे, उन 18 लाख परिवारों की हाय लगेगी मोदी जी आपको।
His former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia is under CBI custody. A fresh political slugfest has erupted between the AAP and the BJP, while AAP leaders claim that students of Delhi schools are missing their favourite leader. BJP accuse AAP of using minor students for their own political agenda. Take a look.
Manish, you would like to say?
Aam Aadmi Party's second in command behind the bars in Liquorgate case. And the party is hitting back with the images of minor students purportedly pleading for Manish Sisodia's innocence. The Aam Aadmi Party came out with what it claims children vouching for their Chacha Sisodia. An attempt to display Manish Sisodia's deep-rooted connection with students and garner sympathy for him using their pictures and placards.
शानदार बना दिया सरकारी स्कूल मनीष सिसोदिया, इसीलिए तो उसको गिरफ्तार किया। मनीष सिसोदिया चोर थोड़ी है, चोर तो नहीं है। अरे इतना संत महात्मा आदमी, उसको तुमने उठा के जेल में डाल दिया। मोदी जी शर्म करो थोड़ी सी।
मनीष सिसोदिया बच्चे लिखे रहे ना, ये वो लिखवा रहे।
The images triggered a backlash from the BJP, which accused the Aam Aadmi Party of using innocent kids as the political fodder and using minors as foot soldiers to defend liquor mafia. Sharing a video on social media, BJP accused Aam Aadmi Party of forcibly making students write messages for the former education minister.
ऐसे व्यक्ति के लिए जिन्होंने दिल्ली को शर्मसार किया है, उसके लिए इस प्रकार से लेटर लिखवाने का काम कर रहे हैं, तो ये कानून का भी उल्लंघन है और ये नैतिक पटल पर भी सबसे शर्मनाक कृत्य है।
The placards by minors drew the ire of National Commission for Protection of Child Rights. The child rights body has written to Delhi's Chief Secretary and Delhi Commissioner to probe the matter and take appropriate action.
बच्चों के मनीष सिसोदिया के साथ कुछ चित्र थे जो शिक्षा मंत्री के रूप में स्कूली बच्चों के साथ लिए गए होंगे। उनका उपयोग एक प्रोपेगेंडा चलाने के लिए किया जा रहा है और इसमें संजय राउत और राघव चड्ढा जैसे लोग शामिल हैं।
मोरबी के अंदर इतने सारे बेकसूर बच्चों की जान चली गई, लगभग हत्या हो गई। ये कमीशन पता नहीं कहाँ था। इस तरीके की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस का राजनीतिक दुरुपयोग अगर होता है तो इन इंस्टीट्यूशंस के ऊपर सवालिया निशान लगता है।
Earlier, senior Aam Aadmi Party leaders including Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Jasmine Shah had tweeted handwritten messages by students for Sisodia. Aam Aadmi Party's Neta number 2 is behind the bars and now child rights body breathing down its neck. The Liquorgate heat is only intensifying.
मनीष सिसोदिया बच्चे लिखे रहे ना, ये वो लिखवा रहे। लिखवा कौन रहा बेटा, ये बेटा कौन लिखवा रहा?
Bureau Report, India Today.
With our report, it's time for a quick break. Here on the other side, Uttar Pradesh Warriors beat Gujarat Giants by 3 wickets in a thriller in Women's Premier League. Grace Harris smashed unbeaten 59 of 26 balls and was declared player of the match.
Looks to go the ramp and it's past the keeper.
The catchphrase which we've noticed here at MWC and all around the world since November, I think the last time that we met, has been generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI, ChatGPT being spoken about all over the world. How much of an impact do you think that will have on the workflow on the tech side, on exactly how a tech company operates, on how our jobs will pan out in the next few months?
I am so happy about the generative AI. The reason I'm happy is it's the same way, because we are in Mobile World Congress. I'll give you an example that 95-96, if you remember, India was one of the most highest cost per minute call, and incoming and outgoing both charge 16 rupees a minute. And those blind calls, call me back. I was from that upbringing, and I land in Hong Kong airport. There was this bank of phones, but people were talking on a mobile phone. And I came back and I said, this is an industry you need to be in. The convenience was 10 steps away. People were talking on mobile phones. So what happened? Mobile phone automated the public phone systems.
Correct.
it automated everything that came along. And you know, I mean, I don't have to describe to you whether it's a health tech, fintech,
Absolutely.
media tech, whatever device it is.
Absolute disruptor.
Now, to me, it did not take away jobs, it created jobs. Now, this is exactly what I think about generative AI, that the use cases are there, and the more they get defined, that means more jobs it will create. Technology is the heart of everything.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
We have some news just coming in. CBI team has reached Rabri Devi's residence in Patna. In the land for job scam is what we are learning right now. On the 15th of March, Lalu and Rabri and also Misa have to appear before the court in this connection. And the team of the CBI now is in fact at their house in Patna is what we are learning. Already on the 27th day of February, a few days ago, Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court had issued summons against the former Railways Minister Lalu Yadav, Rabri Devi as well, and 14 others in connection with the alleged land for job scam. Now, Misa Bharti also have to appear before the court is what we are learning. Right now, there is a CBI team that has reached their house in Patna. Here's a ground report. Take a look. Out in a few seconds from now, but the information we have at this hour is the CBI team reaching Rabri Devi's residence in Patna right now. This is in connection with the alleged land for job scam of which the railway ministers, both Lalu and Rabri, have been accused of. So now the court has already asked them to appear before them, including Dr. Misa Bharti. This is the Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court, which issued summons against former Union Railways Minister Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi and 14 others, including daughter MP Misa Bharti. These are the accused people and they have to appear on the 15th of March. In fact, CBI has already filed a charge sheet against them, and this is in cognizance of that. Cognizance of the charge sheet is what I mean to say. Well, after going through the charge sheet and documents and material on record, it shows the commission of offences is what the court said, and that's the reason why both have been asked to appear along with 14 others. CBI in the month of October last year had filed a charge sheet against former Bihar Chief Ministers Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi, also their daughter Misa Bharti and 13 others in the land for job scam. Now the CBI team is at Rabri's residence right now. My colleague Shashi is getting asked more details on that story, joining live from Rabri Devi's residence. Shashi, first of all, tell us what's really going on as we speak. There is a team of the CBI at the residence. What more can you tell us?
बिल्कुल, देखिए तकरीबन आधे घंटे पहले सीबीआई की जो टीम है वो अंदर गई है और ये पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री राबड़ी देवी का आवास है, 10 सर्कुलर रोड आवास, और आज बिहार विधानसभा की कार्रवाई भी चल रही है। लेकिन उसके बीच जब तेजस्वी यादव विधानसभा की कार्रवाई में शामिल होने के लिए निकले थे, उसी वक्त लगभग एक टीम पहुंची यहाँ पे और इस वक्त अंदर सीबीआई की टीम मौजूद है। जो ताजा मामला है लैंड फॉर जॉब वाला मामला, जिसमें 16 मार्च को पेशी होनी है राबड़ी देवी और उनके पति पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री लालू प्रसाद यादव, बेटी मीसा भारती, हेमा यादव और बाकी 16 एक्यूज इसमें बनाए गए हैं। और इसी मामले पर यह छापेमारी बताई जा रही है, क्योंकि ये एक ऐसा मामला है जिसमें सीबीआई ने हाल के दिनों में जांच जो है वो बढ़ाई है और बड़ी तेजी के साथ सीबीआई आगे बढ़ी है। तो इस मामले में अभी सीबीआई की टीम यहां मौजूद है। हालांकि ऑफिशियल कंफर्मेशन नहीं है कि किस मामले में सीबीआई ने छापेमारी की है, लेकिन सीबीआई की टीम यहां मौजूद है। और जो सुरक्षा जिस तरह से आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे, उसको देख करके ये कहा जा सकता है कि अंदर की स्थिति क्या होगी। तो ये पहली तस्वीरें हैं जो हम आपको और दर्शकों को दिखा रहे हैं। जो सीबीआई की टीम है वो इस वक्त मौजूद है राबड़ी देवी के आवास पे। होली के त्योहार को लेकर के तैयारियां चल रही थी सभी जगहों पे। लालू राबड़ी आवास पर भी तैयारियां थी इस बार होली के त्योहार को लेकर के, लेकिन उसके पहले सीबीआई की टीम आ पहुंची है और इस वक्त सीबीआई के अधिकारी अंदर हैं। जी,
Big story we are getting at this. The CBI team has reached Rabri Devi's residence. इस मामले में charge sheet भी संतोष Shashi, I beg your pardon. Okay, we'll in fact just go back to my colleague Shashi in a few moments from now. But these are details of the CBI team reaching Rabri Devi's residence in Patna. This in connection with the land for jobs scam in which a charge sheet has already been issued. Charge sheet talking about the fact that the accused in conspiracy with the then GM Central Railways and CPO Central Railways engaged persons as substitutes in lieu of land, either in their name or in the name of their close relatives. Land was acquired at prices lower than the prevailing circle rate, much lower than the market rate. The candidates had used false TC and submitted false attested documents to the Ministry of Railways, is what the CBI said. In connection with this entire matter, with the court, Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court, taking cognizance of this, the charge sheet has summoned Lalu Yadav, Rabri Devi and 13 others, including daughter MP मीसा Bharti, to Delhi on the 15th of March. They are to appear. Before that, the CBI is in fact at Rabri's residence as we speak. These are pictures on the left side of your screen, live from Lalu's residence in Patna, where in fact the CBI team is currently present. In fact, this scam allegedly took place between the year 2004 and 9 when Lalu was a railway minister. Apart from the RJD chief, the charge sheet also includes the name of the railway's GM or general manager in a big position. The authority of the GM involved in this scam is what the CBI says. My colleague Aditya Vaibhav is also now joining us, getting us the very latest. Aditya, the reason why the CBI team is right now, in fact, at Rabri and Lalu's residence, a charge sheet in this matter has already been filed.
Well, exactly. As far as the information transpiring from informed sources is concerned, of course, this is in connection to the land for jobs scam, and this is the much publicized IRCTC scam in which several people were technically given employment in the Indian Railways on behalf of exchanges and land exchanges. Interesting to note here is the fact that similar summons have been issued to former railway minister Prasad Yadav, Tejasvi Devi and also मीसा Bharti, and they have to appear before the court on 15th March this year. Interesting to note here is the fact that the summons have been issued by the same Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi that is technically taking care of the charges of Manish Sisodia as well. Interesting to note here is the fact that why now the CBI team is now well inside and they have now technically started their search operations, and we have to wait and see what technically transpires now and what evidence the CBI is able to take, because this is not the first time the CBI is raiding this particular residence of former Chief Minister Rabri Devi, but also they have done it in the past. But then there needs to be some conclusive evidence, some clinching evidence based upon which the CBI can take further the investigation.
All right. The charge sheet clearly talks about the role of Lalu and Rabri Devi. Take us through the details of what this scam exactly is. Of course, they are to appear before the court on the 15th of March.
Well, exactly. as per the investigation in the entire case is concerned, of course, there have been serious allegations that Lalu Prasad, during his tenure as the Union Railway Minister, allowed employment of several people, and there are allegations that those people actually paid for their jobs. They technically gave land plots in lieu of the jobs. Interesting to note here is the fact that this is the same case in which Lalu Yadav's close aide Bhola Yadav was there. He was taken into custody. He was recorded. He got his statements recorded. And interesting to note here is the fact that this is something that was on the back burner for quite some time. But then, in the recent past, there were some proceedings that technically took forward the case, and the summons were issued, and now comes the raid. So this is something that, of course, takes the entire investigation to another level.
That's right. Getting in all the details of the CBI team present at Lalu and Rabri Devi's residence in Patna as we speak. Give us a sense of when did this team also reach Lalu's house this morning? What more can you tell us about that?
Well, exactly. The entire sequence started early this morning when the CBI team actually knocked the doors of 10 Circular Road, which is the official residence of Rabri Devi in Patna. And interesting to note here is the fact that the CBI team just went inside and they are now taking the things. They are technically talking to people, and we've been told that there can be something like people will be questioned in an isolated manner, perhaps, to ascertain the validity, authenticity, and the sanctity of the statements being given. And we'll have to see what technically transpires in the coming hours, because if at all the CBI is able to get some clinching evidence, some establishing evidence, it will be something very crucial, because it is something that will take the investigation to another level. But in absence of the same facts, it will be something that the opposition and Mahagathbandhan government in particular will take it further to slam and target the central government.
To understand, Aditya, what is going to be the legal strategy of Lalu Yadav and his family members who found themselves in the middle of this controversy and this scam? From here on, 15th of March is when they appear before the court. What next?
Well, exactly. This is something that will be technically established by the CBI sleuths as they conclude the search operations at Rabri Devi's residence today in Patna. Interesting to note here is the fact that if at all something is found and the clinching evidence is taken by them, this raid is going to be crucial, because the stakes are high, and of course the Mahagathbandhan government will not be mincing words if it comes to slamming the CBI after an inconclusive search operation during the day.
Aditya getting us all of those details. The CBI is at Lalu's house as we speak, and this in connection with the Land for Jobs scam. For our viewers, Aditya, if you could give us a sense of what this scam was, in fact, the allegation, and this is what has been mentioned in the charge sheet, as well as of the involvement of the general manager of railways at that point in time. This is between the year 2004 and 9 when Lalu was the railways minister under UPA 1, isn't it?
Well, exactly. The entire thing came into spotlight, and the entire episode is perceived to have taken place between 2004 and 2009 during the UPA 1, when Lalu Prasad Yadav was the Union Railway Minister. Interesting to note here is the fact that there are many allegations that people from similar communities, similar background, but spread across different districts of the state were technically taken into railway employment. Interesting to note here is the fact that upon detailed investigation, it was found that some of these employments were actually made in exchange of rewards, and the reward in this case was particularly land. There are several cases, and CBI claims to have similar records of similar plots that were technically exchanged in favor of jobs. And this is the reason why the CBI team had technically taken into custody Lalu's clear close aide, Bhola Prasad Yadav, who was the then officer on special duty deployed with the Union Railway Minister. Interesting to note here is the fact that after his entire statements were recorded and then they were taken into account, this is the second search operation being undertaken by the authorities. Interesting to note here is the fact that a similar search operation was actually undertaken on the very same day Mahagathbandhan government in Bihar was likely to go to floor test. So that was something that triggered hell lot of political slugfest as far as the Bihar arena is concerned. But we'll have to wait and see what technically transpires in the upcoming few hours.
I also want to understand, Aditya, and this, of course, undoubtedly is going to play out politically as well. Give us a sense of what is being said by the RJD, for example, or their partners, vis-a-vis the kind of searches that have now taken place and the fact that they've been summoned as well before court.
Well, technically, this is very early for us to expect political retorts to come as far as this particular search operation is concerned. But there has been a clear and stated fact of the Mahagathbandhan government, be it the JDU or the RJD, they have been slamming and targeting the central government every time a similar crackdown takes place, be it Bihar, be it elsewhere. They don't mince any single word as far as slamming the central government for the misuse of the agencies is concerned. So this is something that has been the clear stand, but then we'll have to wait and see what choice of words do the parties now make after the fresh series of survey operations have been started here in the state capital.
All right. Be with us, Aditya, telling our viewers that the grilling of Rabri Devi has started in the Land for Job case. Remember, this is an old case in which a charge sheet has been filed by the CBI. Aditya is getting us all the details about the grilling of Rabri Devi that has also started. Tell us about the alleged, quid pro quo, as is being said in the charge sheet, land grabbing charges, misuse of power as the railway minister. Also, Aditya, involvement of Babus in this case, including the GM of railways.
Well, exactly. This is something that is very clear right from the day one, because employment is a thing that involves not just one table or one signature, but there is a complete process that ensures impartial and transparent employment into any service, be it a service of a magnitude like that of the railways. Interesting to note here is the fact that without collusion between the different functionaries operating for the railways, it was not possible for people to get enrolled one single person, let alone a large number of cases. Interesting to note here is the fact that this particular collusion is something that is being scanned by the CBI, and this is something they are trying to investigate into to decipher how many people were involved and what was the actual number of cases, how many people were actually taken into service in this particular way. Interesting to note here is the fact that if at all things in the past are being considered, you must remember the fact that the CBI team had to face stiff resistance when they tried to undertake the similar search and raid operations on the plots they perceived were exchanged by the, you can say, applicants or the aspirants here. Stiff resistance. The last time they tried to exit after the survey operations were over from the very same place, Rabri Devi's official residence in Patna. So we'll have to see what technically transpires, because the news of an ensuing search operation at Rabri Devi's residence has technically spread like wildfire, and we expect large number of supporters to throng this particular place, and we'll see what technically happens next.
Okay, what happens next is something that remains to be seen, but on the 15th of March, they've been summoned at Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court. Aditya, if you could tell us if they are going to be turning up, and the reason I'm asking you this is because Lalu, of course, as we all know, hasn't been keeping well.
Well, technically, this is something that gives the supporters an additional soft corner for the family of Lalu Prasad Yadav, and this is something was clearly visible during the last raids. And this is something that I believe, I perceive will be visible in some time, because people are taking time to actually arrange their conveyances and to reach the particular place. So we'll have to see what crowd control measures will be deployed by Patna district administration to ensure that the CBI team does its work easily and hassle-free way, and it moves out without any sort of problems, particularly from the side of the supporters, irate supporters.
All right, CBI team has reached Rabri Devi's residence and she is being grilled right now, is what we've been given to understand. Land for job scam in which there is a charge sheet already talking about the role of Lalu Yadav and Rabri Devi. In fact, also their daughter MP Meesa Bharti and 13 others who've been named as an accused in this entire matter. This is a scam that took place from the year 2004 to 2009 when UPA won in power and Lalu was the railway minister. They are to appear before Delhi's Rouse Avenue court on the 15th of March also is what we know. In fact, these are pictures coming in of the CBI team at Rabri's residence in Patna, where the grilling essentially has started. This is the land for job scam that occurred between 2004 and 9 when Lalu was a railway minister. Charge sheet also, remember, includes the name of the then railway general manager. Aditya continues to be with us. Aditya, what more details can you share about the CBI team present at Rabri's house right now? What about Meesa? Where is she? If you could tell us more.
Well, technically, as the information presides, Meesa is there in Delhi, and then no more information is transpiring from within inside, because there is a standard protocol of disconnecting the people who are being raided or being surveyed upon from the outside. So this is something that needs furthermore clarity so as to what technically is transpiring inside the residence. But then for sure the CBI raid or the CBI survey operation is technically on, and it will get converted into a raid once the clinching evidence is technically found by the raiding team.
All right. Investigations, in fact, with the CBI team now at Lalu's house, and the charge sheet filed in this matter already. Anomaly is found in the applications of candidates, wrongdoing that is being alleged by the CBI in the land for job scam. Documents were enclosed in which applications could not have been processed and engagement should not have been approved, but that was done because there was quid pro quo, Aditya, in this case. Take us through the details of what exactly was the quid pro quo as is being alleged in this particular charge sheet.
Exactly, as far as the entire charge sheet is concerned, of course, the entire thing started, and the charge sheet initially did not even mention the name of Lalu Prasad Yadav. It initially started with a former union minister, his spouse and one daughter. But then the investigation started from that very point of time, and is something that has taken the CBI finally to a level that they are now technically conducting survey operations for the very second time here in Patna. Interesting to note here is the fact that the earlier survey and raid operations were conducted on several occasions, including the same date on which the Mahagathbandhan government into power was to undergo its floor test. So this is something that has been contested by the both the parties, and now that the fact that the ensuing raid at the Rabri Devi's residence is something that is actually transpiring at this very point of time. We'll share more details as it continue to transpire to us.
I'm just going to come back to you in a moment from now. Munish Pandey is getting us more details. Rabri, Munish, you're telling us, is being questioned by the CBI, and there is no raid or no search which is on right now, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, Sneha. There are no searches, there are no raids at the residence of Rabri Devi, but we can confirm to our viewers that Rabri Devi is being questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation in the land for job scam. As far as the scam is concerned, there is already a charge sheet filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation. The court has summoned members of Lalu Yadav, family members of Lalu Yadav, to appear before the court on 15th of March. But just few days before that, the CBI has reached the residence of Rabri Devi, and as we speak, she is being questioned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. I have been given to understand is that the lawyer, family lawyer of Lalu Yadav, has already reached the residence of Rabri Devi. Now, as far as the allegations are concerned, what we have been told by the officials in the Central Bureau of Investigation is that there were certain evidences pointing towards Rabri Devi, and that is why for further investigation in the case, her questioning was necessary, and that is why a team of CBI has reached her residence. Now, as far as the scam is concerned, the allegation by the CBI is that 7 candidates were given job in railway because they sold their land at a throwaway price to a company which was linked to Lalu Yadav family members, including Misa Bharti, and that is why earlier we saw there was search at the residence of Misa Bharti in Delhi. Rabri Yadav's residence was searched earlier in this case. There was a charge sheet filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, but now the CBI has reached the residence and questioning Rabri Devi in connection with this case.
Okay, essentially the charge sheet has been filed, but it's interesting that the questioning continues, Manish.
Yes, and this is what precisely I asked the sources within the Central Bureau of Investigation. The CBI sources are telling us that the questioning was important because there is a charge sheet, but the investigation is still continuing, and this is a process that if the investigation is still continuing, they can question the accused at any given point of time. Now, as far as today's questioning is concerned, it is going to have a far-reaching political implications in Bihar, especially after BJP got out from the Nitish Kumar government, and now there is a government between Tejasvi Yadav and Nitish Kumar at this point of time. So it will have a far-reaching political implications because CBI has reached the door of Rabri Devi. But as far as the investigation is concerned, what the CBI sources are telling us that her questioning was important because one, the investigation is still continuing, and second, there were certain evidences pointing towards Rabri Devi, and that is why her statement became extremely important, and that is why they decided to question her at her residence today.
What could possibly be their legal strategy from here on? Given that the charge sheet has been filed, Lalu has been named, Rabri also elder daughter, Misa Bharti happens to be an MP. 13 others have to appear before the court on the 15th of March. Manish, what are you picking up?
Yeah, well, Sneha, I've been given to understand is that once they appear on 15th of March, the legal strategy is going to be to get a regular bail. And because they were not arrested before the charge sheet was filed, there is a high possibility that all of them will be granted regular bail. This is procedural. But as far as their name in the charge sheet is concerned, it is going to be a long legal fight to get their names cleared from the charge sheet, because what CBI has done, first they lost the FIR, second they raided certain premises, third they recorded statements of not only candidates who were given job, but also they gathered evidence, money trail. They gathered money trail and many other evidences, and that is after they decided to file a charge sheet. So what CBI has done, they have gathered the evidence, they have filed a charge sheet. So the legal strategy at this point of time for Lalu Yadav is only to get regular bail in this case. Apart from that, they can't do much about it. They can approach the High Court against the charge sheet. But so far, CBI is very confident that the charge sheet has all the evidence, and based on it, the court will, assume a trial in coming days.
Absolutely. Now, in fact, Rabri Devi is being questioned. There are no searches. There are no raids, is what Manish is telling us. In fact, this comes at a time when the CBI has already filed its charge sheet, and Manish, the Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court has taken note of that charge sheet. Take us through the details of what also the charge sheet says, what has been the wrongdoing, and also the alleged quid pro quo here.
Well, Sneha, the charge sheet has been filed before the Rouse Avenue Court in the national capital by the Central Bureau of Investigation. As far as the allegations are concerned, the main allegations are that when Lalu Yadav was the railway minister at that point of time, there were at least 7 candidates who were given job in the railway. And why this job was given? Because they decided to give away their land at a very throwaway price. The strategy and the allegation by the Central Bureau of Investigation is that the strategy of the Lalu Yadav family was to buy lands of these candidates at a throwaway price through a third company. There was a company formed between Misa Bharti and certain other shell companies. Those companies bought these land at a throwaway price, whereas the market price at that point of time was very high. And those who gave their land, who agreed to give their land to Lalu Yadav's family members, they were given job at railway. So this is the main allegation. CBI has filed a charge sheet with all the statements, including some of the evidences in the case, and the court has asked Lalu Yadav, Misa Bharti and Rabri Devi to appear before it on 15th of March. Now the procedure is going to be that the family members of Lalu Yadav will be filing for a regular bail. Most possibly, they will be given a regular bail in this case. But as far as the investigation is concerned, CBI has also mentioned in the charge sheet that the investigation is still continuing, which means that at any given point of time, CBI will be within their power not only to search or raid any premises, but to question any person. And based on the very same thing, they decided to reach Rabri Devi's residence today. And as we speak, she is still being questioned. The lawyer has reached, the lawyer may ask the CBI that why are you questioning Rabri Devi at this point of time, but CBI says that they are within their power to question any accused or suspect or witness.
Okay, the lawyer has also reached to intervene in this entire matter. The charge sheet filed. We have a reaction, in fact, coming in also from the BJP. Let's go straight to that first.
पर लगातार केस मुकदमे रहे तो हर समय ये विषय आपके ऊपर उठा है। आपने मॉल बनाने का काम आप ही किए, मिट्टी घोटाला आप ही किए, चारा घोटाला आप ही किए, अलकतरा घोटाला आप ही किए, तो जो आपने किया है उसकी करनी का फल तो भोगना पड़ेगा ना।
Let's talk about the land for job scam. Let's decode it. What really happened in this case? Land was sold at throwaway prices in lieu of jobs. Land was given away in that sense. Land sold to relatives of Lalu in Patna. So beneficiaries of this scam were the relatives of Lalu Yadav. Group D jobs given for land. Jobs provided in different rail zones. Lalu, remember, at that point in time, this was between 2004 and 9, was the Union Railway Minister under UPA 1. Lalu and Rabri have been named in the FIR. Daughters Misa Hema also named. Misa has been summoned as well before the court. Total 16 people named in FIR. This includes Lalu and also includes Rabri and Misa. Rohit Singh is getting asked more details. Rohit, in fact, questions are being raised as to why the CBI team has had to question Rabri right now, given that the charge sheet has been filed already. This is interesting, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. The charge sheet has already been filed in this case, but now it seems that the CBI, the court has also taken cognizance of this entire matter, and on 15th of March, Lalu Prasad, Rabri Devi and Misa Bharti have been summoned by the Delhi court, the CBI court, which is investigating this entire case. And question is that when the charge sheet has already been registered in this case, a charge sheet has been filed in this case in the court, so why is there a need to question Rabri Devi again? So it seems that the CBI may have got some fresh lead, some fresh clue in this entire case, and therefore there has been a need for the CBI to question Rabri Devi, and that is why a 12-member CBI team is at 10 Circular Road, the official residence of Rabri Devi in Patna, where we are. And inside the house, the CBI team is questioning Rabri Devi. Tejasvi Yadav and Tej Pratap also are inside the house, and what we are being told is that the CBI team is questioning Rabri Devi in connection with the land for a job scam, because what the sources are telling us that some fresh leads have been received by the CBI team, and that is why it has felt the need of questioning Rabri Devi. And this raid is also extremely important. This questioning is very important because this comes just about a week before the Lalu family, 3 members of the Lalu family have to appear in the CBI court in Delhi. So that is, the timing is also very interesting. But this is a huge move by the CBI to question Rabri Devi just days ahead before she is to appear before the Delhi court along with Lalu Prasad and Misa Bharti.
Important that, Rohit, you talk about fresh leads in this case, because this is going to become a big, or rather translate into a big political slugfest as well. That what is it that you're trying to prove? The charge sheet is there. We've been summoned by the court. And now you have a team of the CBI again questioning Rabri Devi.
Well, absolutely. As I told you, what we are learning is that from our sources that some fresh clues, some fresh evidence have been received by the CBI, and that is why it has felt the need to again question Rabri Devi in this case, despite the fact that a charge sheet has already been submitted in the court months back. But now the CBI team is once again at Rabri Devi's residence here in Patna, and we can show you here pictures that how security deployment has also been beefed up here. A lot of security personnel here guarding the 10 Circular Road by residence of Rabri Devi, Tejasvi Tej Pratap are inside, and this entire case relates to between 2004 and 2009 when Lalu was the railway minister, and allegations are there on him that being the railway minister, he misused his position as the railway minister and gave jobs to several aspirants in the railways in lieu of gifted lands, and also purchased lands at throwaway prices in exchange. So that is the entire case, and this case was registered in 2017, and since then investigations are going on in this case. Lalu Prasad, Rabri Devi, Meesa Bharti, Tejasvi Yadav all have been named in this case, but a few months back the CBI submitted a charge sheet in this entire case in the Delhi court, and now the CBI court has taken cognizance of this entire matter and summoned Rabri Devi, Lalu and Meesa Bharti in this case. But just before that appearance of these three people in the court, this important raid, this important questioning now taking place at the Patna residence of Rabri Devi.
Okay, questioning taking place at Rabri Devi's residence by the CBI. What about the legal strategy? Take us through the details of that as well, Rohit.
Yeah, absolutely. The legal team of Rabri Devi is already here, even as we speak.